Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft Dinosaurs episode 6. I'm standing in the middle of our Pachy Rhinoceros enclosure because I have a few names for these guys. Let me make sure. This one's a male. I'm going to name him Malachite. This one over here, also a male. I'm going to name him Flint. And I think this guy will also be a male. Yes, Onyx. And then our final one, the only girl in our enclosure, will be Amethyst. These were all suggested by this user you see on screen right now. Big shout out to them, and thank you so much for the suggestion. Quite a bit has happened since our last episode. I unfortunately died, lost all of my gear, and had to get re-enchanted, re-geared up. I supplemented some of the grind of that by going in busting to get more shulker boxes and obviously get diamond armor in the chests in the in cities, so that helps speed up the process quite a bit. And I got very, very, very lucky and got quite a few shulker boxes, which should help in our projects that we've got going on and future projects that I have planned. Today, what I really want to do is, since I have been using Elytra and flying around a lot, I would really like to build a gunpowder farm as well as a sugarcane farm for rockets. I also desperately need an iron farm. Building the machines in this and doing some carnivore enclosures in the future will require quite a bit of iron, and I want to have some kind of farm. So I'm thinking another kind of facility building somewhere in this area. I haven't planned it out yet, but I think we can go ahead and start building. I will go gather materials and we should get into it. Alright, I think that just about does it for our facility expansion. I'm really liking how this came out. I added tons of storage crates and everything, and I made the whole theme of this building kind of like our storage shed that will store all the food for our park, all the fish, all the plants, all the meat, and they'll be kept in these shipping containers that can be transported to all of our enclosures. But the real work that we need to get done is down here in this little area. I need to decorate a little bit more, but I want to put our sugarcane farms and gunpowder farms connected to this little area. I'm thinking using the create mod, we can just do kind of what we did up there with the crops, just down here with the sugarcane. And then I think there's this giant cave right here that we can kind of turn into our creeper farm, and we'll have it output here, and we'll maybe be able to even automate the rocket making. I haven't looked into it yet, but we will definitely get something going so we can have plenty of rockets. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut right now and install them. Okay, here it is, my beautiful contraption. I do not classify myself as a redstone person or even a create engineer. I don't think I'm that good at it, so this is very cobbled together, but I'll show you kind of the behind the scenes. It basically, back here is a sugarcane farm that's farming sugarcane similar to our crop farms upstairs. And that's harvesting sugarcane and then crafting it into paper, and that goes into this center bit. And then through this wall is a gunpowder farm with just a cat and some carpets and stuff that'll only allow creepers to spawn, and then they get killed and the gunpowder comes up into here, and then it crafts it into rockets. The problem I am experiencing at the moment is that there is no gunpowder. The farm I built does have an AFK platform built into it, but I do not want to build one kind of in the sky here. I think it'll ruin the sightline, and I find them ugly, and I don't want to build one. So we're just going to deal with a limited rate farm. I think it'll help if I light up this area and this surrounding area, and the cave systems below will definitely help with the drop rate and will help with our firework rocket farm. Now, what I want to get done is I want to get the resources for the iron farm, and I'm thinking I'm going to put it somewhere over here. I don't really know. I want to build something for it, but also I just kind of want iron, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the resources, and we'll see what I end up doing. Alright, here is the iron farm, fully built, fully functional. I unfortunately lost the time-lapse footage where I was constructing the farm, so I'm just doing sorry to cut there, but we did finish building this. I need to build something around it to kind of cover it up because it's kind of just floating here, but it has to be spawn-proof so the golems don't spawn, so I'm still working out the best way to do that will get us iron without tampering with the actual farm. If you want to know how to build this farm, I will link the tutorial I watched down in the description, as well as the one for the gunpowder I used over there. So if you're curious how to make either of these farms, please just go check them out and see for yourself. Alright, between episodes and while I've been gathering resources for our builds today, I have been gathering all of these fossil ores, so I think honestly we should break them down and slap them in the analyzer to see what DNA we're going to get. And here is our haul. Not too bad, not too bad. I think we have almost every DNA, at least one of every DNA. I think we're missing maybe one or two left. But I did manage to get 2 more Stegosaurus DNA, so I'm thinking definitely we're going to cultivate those and put those in the enclosure. But today I think I have noticed I have a lot of Allosaurus DNA. Now the only issue with Allosaurus is it counts as a large carnivore, and it means we need scarab gems to tame them. But I do have about 5 in here. I'm going to do 3 Allosaurs for now. I think 5 might be a little too many because I don't know how many their herd size is. But I think 3 is like a good odd number for them. So I'm going to cook up both of these eggs, and I'll meet you back in the Stegosaurus enclosure so we can hatch our 2 new Stegosaurs. Okay, I have our Stegosaurus eggs here, and I'm going to place them down and let them hatch. And while we wait for them to hatch, I want to talk a little bit about the plans for the series. So far, I think this is episode 6, and we've released 1 video a week for the past, I guess, 5 weeks now. This one will be a little bit later than the other ones. I think I've been releasing them on Tuesday. This one might come out Friday, or I might even miss this week. It is my birthday week currently, and I haven't had that much time to record the video, as well as my finals week is coming up next week. So I'm a little busy with life at the moment, so I might not be able to record a video. I know my following's very huge, and you all very much care that I won't be able to post. But overall, I am going to probably miss this next week or the week after, just because of life. But I do get my summer break for a bit at the end of this month, so overall, I think I'll have more time to do even more crazy builds. This episode has been quite jam-packed with all of the farms I've made, and it doesn't look like much, but a lot of hours went into both the gunpowder and the sugarcane farm and the iron farm, which I still need to design a building for, and I also am wanting to finish out this episode building at least partially starting an enclosure for our Allosauruses. I don't know how much will get done before I need to wrap it up and just go ahead and end the video, but overall, I'm really happy with the progress we're making. I've been kind of brainstorming and planning out the rest of the park, and I might put some images on screen right now that kind of shows like my random drawings that I do in class, but just some really interesting ideas I have, and I've been brainstorming like the aquarium and the aviary, and like trying to get a bunch of inspiration and trying in a creative testing world to just kind of like plan those out and see what they're going to look like, how I'm going to fit the fossils and archaeology animals in, and all that. So that's kind of what I'm working on behind the scenes, and I'm still going to try and be consistent making content and growing the park. But it looks like these guys are almost about to hatch, about 5% left. So yeah, actually we'll have now 4 stegosauruses, so if you have any name suggestions in the comments, please leave them. And let's see who we got here. We got a male and a female, so we have an even split, 2 males, 2 females in this enclosure. That is lovely. So again, 4 stegosauruses. Please name them down in the comments. I forgot how adorable these were because these 2 grew up so fast for me, but these guys are still adorable. But yeah, let's go ahead and I guess start working on our next enclosure right now. And with that time lapse coming to an end, here is the very early version of our Allosaurus exhibit. I haven't finished all of the rock wall. I want to do like plenty of big rocks and also ground texture and foliage, but I am desperately running out of time for this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and place these guys down and get them all going. Do I have my Dinopedia? I think it's out here. I would like to talk a little bit about the exhibit while we wait for them to hatch, but overall, I had it the whole time. I'm very happy with the fence design that I came up with. I kind of just winged it, like started doing it. It was like, okay, let's do it. It's kind of Jurassic Park-esque. There's the Create mod adds these little light bulb looking things. So I put them on top of the fence post, so it kind of gives that electrical fence vibe. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't want this whole park to be that like super Jurassic Parky, but when you have these kind of big creatures here, you're gonna need like a really strong fence to contain them. And I looked at like giraffe reserves, elephant reserves, and they use similar, not like electrified, but like very tall chain link fences that will kind of keep in the animals. So I was kind of inspired by some of those images that I saw, and then obviously Jurassic Park is an amazing novel, so I was like, let's put them on there. So it kind of gives that Jurassic Park vibe. I extended out this little cove here, and I'm thinking this whole area is gonna be really like stony, kind of not beach like, but like sunken cove where it's kind of muddy, stony, rocky, and then this will be, in this area, we'll continue our forest from the Stegosaurus and Pachyronosaurus enclosure, just kind of like right here. And this enclosure will be really kind of our forest edge, because as I've said in the previous videos, I want, as we move out to this way, to kind of transition into more of a plains vibe. And as we go back that way, I'm going to extend the forest throughout this actual Minecraft forest, chop down all these trees, and then extend enclosures that way to have more of a foresty vibe. But I want this one to kind of be our transition out of that forest and more into the plains and kind of like some stonier shores along this river here. And those will, that'll set us up nicely for a couple of different exhibits. I want sauropods in this kind of plains area, specifically like the Diplodocus, and then the Brachiosaurus will go somewhere eventually. They should be about to hatch. 98. I should probably get the food out. Oh, hello, little guys. Let me feed you all. I don't know. I think they have to be full grown for me to tame them. But let's see. We have one female and two females. So these guys are here. And I think in the next episode, I will finish up their enclosure and we will go from there. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, a comment, and maybe even subscribing if you want to see more from me and more dinos content in the future. See ya!